What's up YouTube? So in the past I've made a couple of videos about using your mirrorless camera as a webcam. Now I've done that with a couple of cameras such as the Canon EOS R, Canon M50, which was a life hack in essence if you've got the original M50, and then other cameras like the ZV-E10 and so forth. Now there's a trend in the questions that I get in the comments of these videos. Now especially with the Canon cameras, the trend goes like this. Why can't I use the Canon EOS Webcam Utility? Or isn't it just easier to use the Canon EOS Webcam Utility? So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to address that question, or those type of questions. I'm going to show you how to use the Canon EOS Webcam Utility, and then I'm going to show you the difference between using the Canon EOS Webcam Utility and the HDMI capture card method that I show in most of my videos. Before I move on guys, this video is brought to you by Epidemic Sound. All the music that I use in any of my videos, B-roll and stuff like that, majority of that is from Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is a fantastic tool. It's an amazing website that has royalty-free music that you can use in any of your videos at a small subscription fee. I'll put my referral link down below in the description box. If you hit that, you're going to get a 30-day free trial to Epidemic Sound so you can test it out for yourself and see if it's for you. So now to answer that question, can you use the EOS Webcam Utility app, or can you just use the EOS Webcam Utility app? By all means, yes, absolutely use it. If it works for you, I never said you couldn't, and I never said that it wasn't easier to use. Actually, I very rarely ever even referenced the Canon EOS Webcam Utility. I never mentioned it in my videos, and that's because I don't use it myself personally. The reason behind that is I feel that using the HDMI capture card method to connect your camera as a webcam is better for me. So it comes down to, what are you going to be using your camera for? Are you going to be using it just as a general webcam for Zoom meetings or Teams meetings or work meetings or as a usual webcam stuff? Or are you going to be using it for things like streaming, live streaming on platforms like Twitch and YouTube? That will impact your decision as to whether the Webcam Utility app method or the HDMI capture card method is better for you. And the reason behind that is there is a very clear difference between the two. The quality that you get, the output quality that you get from the Webcam Utility method is far below that from the capture card method. Capture card method, if you're using something like the 4K CamLink, then you're gonna get up to 4K quality in your output stream. Now the whole argument between whether you need 4K in your output stream or not, that's besides the point. The fact is you can go up to 4K. With the Webcam Utility method, the highest output you can get is actually 720p. Now previously with the beta, even though the output appeared to be 720p, the actual output was something close to like 510 or 540p. So it's way below that HD resolution that your cameras can output. Now, if you're using a mirrorless camera, that's going to be an expensive piece of kit. It's going to be anything between a couple of £100 to a couple of £1,000, depending on what camera you're using for streaming. Some people use things like the Canon EOS R5 to stream. I use the Canon EOS R for majority of my webcam streaming needs. Canon M50, ZV-E10, whatever it is, whatever camera that you're going to be using, it's going to be a couple of £100 or more, and it's going to have the ability to output things like 1080p, 4K. And if you're going to be using your camera just as a webcam, and that's it, like for meetings and stuff, then absolutely the Webcam Utility app, I think, is more than enough. More than enough. The quality that produces is far beyond, even with the reduced resolution, far beyond what any normal webcam can produce, I think. Now, if you're going to be streaming, you want your viewers to be able to see you in the highest resolution possible, especially if you're going to be streaming, like just talking to your thing, or you're going to be, your camera is your focus. If you're going to be streaming gameplay, and then you're going to have yourself in like a little box in the corner like most gamer streamers do, then that might not matter to you. The Webcam Utility app might be more than enough because you're going to be in this small box and the focus is going to be on your gameplay. But if you're doing anything else, if you're streaming anything else, if you're streaming a podcast, if you're streaming yourself just talking to the camera, it's a guide or whatever else it is, then I think the quality definitely matters. You want your viewers to be seeing you in the highest quality possible, and that highest quality possible will be achievable through using the capture card method. So that answers that question. Now, in terms of using the Webcam Utility app, here's how you do it. It's very, very simple. You can either Google or use the link that I've put down in the description box below to access the Webcam Utility app. So in Google, you can just type in Canon EOS Webcam Utility app, click the first link, and there you have it. It'll give you the option of installing either the Windows version or the Mac version. Depending on what operating system you're using, follow that one. So I use the Mac, so I'm going to choose Mac. Select, download the installer, install it by following the instructions on the screen, and then there you have it. That's literally all that needs to be done in terms of the installation process. Once you've done that, all you have to do then is connect your camera via your USB cable. So that can be USB-C or micro USB, whatever your camera supports. Connect that to your laptop computer, your computer or PC device. And then what should happen is when you boot up the app that you want to use your webcam through, whether that be Zoom, OBS, Teams, whatever it is, Canon EOS Webcam Utility should show up as an option. You select that and then you can see the output from your camera that you're getting through the Webcam Utility app. That's it. It's very, very, very simple. Now I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison. On the left-hand side of the screen, you will in a bit see the Canon EOS Webcam Utility app output, and on the right-hand side, you're going to see the capture card output. Both of these are recorded directly through OBS, so it's essentially mimicking what OBS would output to your stream, and then they are both done using the Canon EOS R as a reference. So the settings, the environment are exactly the same. They were done right one after the other. Lighting is in exactly the same conditions. The camera is outputting 1080p at 30 fps. Shutter speed is 1/60, f2.8, and ISO 1250 because that's the best ISO for these conditions. So here's a side-by-side comparison. You can see very clearly that the recording from the HDMI capture card is much crisper than the one from the Webcam Utility app. The Webcam Utility app is for some reason a bit more ambient and it's softer around the edges. You can see that the resolution is just not as high, just not doing it. Now for me that's a big deal breaker because it just doesn't look as nice and crisp to me. It still looks pretty darn good in comparison to some webcams that I've tested in the past. However, if you're going to be putting this up against the capture card feed, the capture card feed definitely wins. It's much sharper. The lighting that it's outputting is actually, for some reason, exactly how I want it to be. I don't know why the Webcam Utility is making it seem more ambient, but the capture card has this cooler look to it. They're both outputting in the same settings. There's been no filters, no LUTs added to any of these images. It's raw out of OBS. And there you have it, guys. That's your comparison there. It's up to you guys now to make a decision which one you would prefer to use. If it's easier for you to use the Webcam Utility app and that's all you need, then by all means, it's still a great method. It's still giving you quality that's beyond that of your average webcam. If you want that higher quality, if you want that maximum output, even up to 4K, if your camera and your computer and stuff can handle it, and you want your viewers to enjoy yourself in the crispest of HD, crispest of 4K quality, then by all means use the capture card method. There is no right or wrong in this case. It is absolutely up to your preference and up to your needs. So I hope that helped, guys. I hope that helped answer the questions to many of you in the comments. If you have any other questions about this whole setup and using your camera as a webcam, or if there's any other kind of similar kind of videos that you want me to make to answer questions, then absolutely leave a comment down below and I will do my best to answer those questions. If you want to check out any of those video tutorials that I made, then they're on the screen right now. Until next time, guys, this is Kai24 signing out.